mind can come up with some crazy ways of thinking when you're asleep. I feel like it can always go a whole different direction when it comes to dreaming, honestly. One moment I'm a fairy flying in my cute little mushroom village, watering my garden, and then the apocalypse happens. I have had some crazy dreams throughout my life of slumber, and I actually used to write a lot of them down in my little dream journal on my phone. So I figured it would make a fun video to be able to share my dreams to people without sounding like a complete psychopath. This dream entry was back on July 1st of 2020. Me, Val, and Riley went into the tunnels for a late evening adventure. When entering, we noticed these weird drawings that kept getting stranger the further we walked down the tunnel. We find the end and see this house planted in the middle of nowhere. It had the same weird drawings on the walls and doors, just covered everywhere on this house. Riley says we should go inside and see what's in there. Val and I were hesitant at first, but then agreed. We enter this strange house and realize it's bigger on the inside than it appears to be on the outside. We opened these doors and found the weird drawings everywhere, but nothing that could seemingly harm us. We reach the end of the house and walk back to where the front door is, when we notice 2 new sets of doors on the opposite wall from it. Val and I were thinking that this didn't seem right, but Riley decided to go through them. The door on the right didn't have as many drawings on them like the other doors did, but upon opening the doors we see a figure standing at the end of the hallway in this new room. A voice shouted, "No!" And the 3 of us slammed the doors and ran out of the house in a panic. We tried going back to the tunnels, but they were blocked by these vines. I began ripping them down when we heard thuds coming from the house. We all started ripping down the vines and managed to get over them and look down from a distance to see what the loud noise was. The doors of the house swung open and this huge woman stood in the doorway, looking around, trying to find us. And then I woke up, apparently. I don't remember too much about this dream, honestly. A little came back when I read the voice screaming no, and then we all bolted, but other than that I have no recollection of this whatsoever. See, this is a prime example of what I meant about dreams just going everywhere mid-story. Like, this could have made so much more sense until all the random doors started appearing. This next dream is very interesting to me because I actually remember it pretty vividly even now. This one was a crazy story. July 23rd, 2020. A lot of these I see are back in July like 3 years ago. It was me, Riley, and our grandma Judy helping Sydney put in a pool in her new house's backyard. Riley mentioned something about our parents not being able to see this project, and asked why they were in jail for longer than 5 years. It became a flashback. Everyone was happily living in our house, only this time we had an older brother named Jax and a younger brother named Michael. One night while Riley and Sydney were away, I heard our parents fighting and arguing with Jax. I was trying to sleep, but it was hard since they were yelling pretty loud. A moment later I heard Michael being told to go do something, but couldn't hear what it was. They broke into my bedroom and picked me up. Bits and pieces of these memories kept breaking up in my mind, but I was able to remember waking up the next morning and asking where Jax was. My dad told me and Michael that he had run away, and we won't be seeing him again. He told us to take out the trash, but when we lifted the bag up, it was way too heavy. Michael opened the bag to see what was causing the weight and screamed. Jax's hand fell from the bag, and I stared in horror. Our parents stared us down as we slowly looked over at them. They told us they had no other choice, and that we needed to take it out quickly since the garbage man would be here soon. Michael told them they were monsters, and they tried justifying themselves by saying they'll never get caught, and it was our word against theirs, since everyone trusted them way too much. The flashback ends and I was in the kitchen with everyone else eating Oreos. Riley looked down and told us she couldn't believe it's already been 2 years since our parents' arrest. The rest of us were silent, but just as shocked as the day it happened. That night I kept trying to fall asleep, but kept remembering the small gaps I had of that night. I sat up instantly and realized we had no idea where Michael was. And then I yet again woke up. This one was kind of crazy to me because the story was actually making sense. I mean, my parents haven't killed any of my siblings or anyone in that matter that I know of. And I don't have any brothers, so I have no idea where my brain came up with Jax and Michael. But this dream overall was wild to me, and if anyone wants to make a book about it, please tag me because that would be lit. This last dream I'm going to talk about is probably the craziest one I actually remember perfectly because it was just so chaotic. I don't think I could ever forget about it even if I tried. I don't think I ever actually wrote this dream down, so I'm not sure when I had it, but here you go. I was on the school bus next to my friend Adam. We were going on a surprise field trip for our class, and we spent a majority of the bus ride trying to guess where we could possibly be going this year. The bus stopped and everyone flooded out the doors, but when Adam and I got out of the bus, no one was to be found. The bus started up again and left us there without saying a word. We tried chasing and yelling the driver down, but they just drove off and left us there. We decided to go into the city to try and find our class. On our way there, a huge bomb went off and knocked us off our feet and unconscious. Upon waking up, the sky began to turn a dark reddish-green color, and we could hear people screaming from a few blocks away. We got up and started running towards the city where the noise was coming from. A nuclear explosion had gone off, and people were on the ground seemingly unalive. We ran into these two little kids who looked very similar to Dora and Diego from the kids show, but we let them tag along with us because, they're kids. The four of us find a small sheltered spot in this 3-story building that was about to collapse on itself, but decided to camp there anyways. We started a small fire and began making beds out of our jackets and whatever we could find in the building. After gathering some materials, Adam and I head back to the kids to see Dora being taken away by what looked like a zombie creature. Diego stood there screaming and pointing at them like an idiot until Dora couldn't hold on any longer and the creature took her from the building. We grabbed Diego and threw him into the building to keep him somewhat safe. Another explosion goes off in the distance on top of another building. Just when we were about to start heading down to go find some weapons and food, the mystery machine from Scooby-Doo stops in front of us and the window rolls down to reveal Scooby-Doo and his friends. They tell us they're here to help us when a huge beam of light comes from the building that just blew up. Yep. Aliens were now taking over the building. The Mystery Inc. gang tell us they have to stop the UFO from taking over the city, and their car starts flying over the building. Adam and I watch as they all start getting out of the car and almost instantly start getting taken by the UFO light. And then I woke up. This dream is probably one of my favorite dreams ever because the entire time me and my friend Adam are just completely oblivious to whatever the heck is going on in the world at this moment and then just learn to accept the chaos of everything right then and there. Nothing to this dream made any sense to me, and I just remember waking up confused out of my mind and telling my family about the insignificance of this dream at the dinner table one night, and they all just stared at me like, what is actually wrong with you? But anyways, aside from these crazy dreams, I have a lot more for the future. I actually used to dream about the zombie apocalypse a lot in high school, and I don't know if I need therapy because of that. Hello, my friends. Thank you for listening to this all over the place video on my weird dreams. And sorry if my voice sounds a little strange. I believe I'm recovering from a cold of some sort, but hopefully it goes away soon because I miss the freedom of breathing normally through my nostrils. If you'd like to hear more about these weird dreams in the future, please leave a like on this one. Comment any weird or fun dreams you remember while you're at it. I love hearing about strange dreams people have had in the past. Thank you for watching this video and subscribe if you enjoy the channel. Anywho, I will see you in the next video and I love you guys. Bye!